Yo, guys, Urban Bars brings you the best UK reactions to rap, hip hop, and urban music from all around the world. Guys, sometimes we have to bring you stuff which I think transcends everything. And we're talking music, all that good fun stuff, this, that, and a third. And this is one of those times, guys. This dropped into my feed earlier today, and I just thought I need to check it out because of the title. It says here Illinois passes the Purge law January the 1st. So that is January the 1st, 2023. Illinois passes the Purge law January the 1st, and it's releasing a bunch of King Vong's. What? I don't know what that means. From Cook County Jail. Guys, if you know what a King Von is, please let me know down here in the comments section. I'm not too proud to beg and I'm not too proud to ask a favor. I'm thinking, is it something to do with convicts, criminals, felons? I don't know. Let me know, please, down here in the comments section, because that really threw me. But if you look at the feed here, it says on the screen, Illinois passes the real Purge law. And guys, I've been watching the films, the Purge films, for the last so many years. And someone once told me, guys, that what you see on the screen is literally a prelude to what happens in real life, maybe one, two, three, five, whatever years later. It's almost a kind of conditioning people. But let's get into this and let's talk about what we're hearing, guys. Let's roll.
As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding.
I'm just going to stop it there. So it was saying that they're no longer going to have cash bail for any of the following whatever. And that's another thing that I think we may need to talk about either now or another stage. We are fast running out of using cash in our society. There's a reason for it, which I might not go into today, but we are fast becoming a cashless society. There will no longer be any folding, no longer be any coinage in our society. And that is fast approaching, guys. But let's get to the matter in hand and let's get to these Illinois laws, which are in effect releasing the purge.
As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act.
Oh my goodness. So anyone who's got a tag and for whatever reason breaks those tag rules, they literally have a 48-hour, that's a 2-day head start before the law enforcement will come after them. So a 2-day head start, how far can you get in 2 days? I'm sure you can get over the state line. I'm sure of it.
They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them.
There you go.
It denies.
I mean, it reminds me of, a long time ago, when I've heard friends and etc. Like say, for instance, a loved one's gone missing and they say, well, hang on a second, they've only been missing 1 or 2 hours. We're not really at large to do anything until they've been missing for, is it 24 hours, 48 hours? I can't remember. But there needs to be a certain period of time before the police are obliged to start to investigate that. Really? I mean, in that time, anything could have happened. Anything and everything could have happened. Really? Guys, I'm just going to wheel it back a little bit.
Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them. It denies victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind.
What? So it denies victims their constitutional rights. That ain't right. That ain't right. Hold on. Really?
Victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind, businesses and homeowners. Officers will no longer be able to remove trespassers from your residence or your businesses.
Really? Are you kidding? Really?
Someone could decide to live in your shed, and all we can do is give them a ticket.
A ticket?
You have to decide what level of force is required to remove them.
Guys, this is getting beyond crazy. So literally, if you leave your home to go to work or go to the store, to go to get gas with the car or whatever, and you come back to your property and someone is sitting in your living room, lounge, kitchen, you can't get them out of your house. You can't, because the legal authorities are saying they wash their hands of it. So what do? You forcibly get that person out of your house, and guess what happens? You get arrested for using unnecessary force to remove this person. You know, their human rights have been really. Oh my gosh! If someone comes into your yard, you take them out, which way you can. Oh my gosh! Hang on.
What level of force is required to remove them, and whether or not it's legal.
You see, is that force going to be legal? Guys, I'm just going to check this one last time. This is beyond crazy.
As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them. It denies victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind, businesses and homeowners. Officers will no longer be able to remove trespassers from your residence or your businesses. Someone could decide to live in your shed, and all we can do is give them a ticket.
A ticket?
You have to decide what level of force is required to remove them, and whether or not it's legal.
Guys, that is just insane. And on the back of this, I did upload something else, which we will check out now. So guys, just for our pleasure, we can actually view this. So under the new law, entire categories of crime, such as aggravated batteries, robberies, burglaries, hate crimes, aggravated drunk under the influence, vehicular homicide, so if you get involved in a car crash accident that kills someone, drug-induced homicides, all drug offences, including the delivery of fentanyl and trafficking cases, are no longer eligible for detention. That means that no one can be arrested and incarcerated in jail, no matter the severity of the crime or the defendant's risk to a specific person or the community, unless the people provide and prove by clear and convincing evidence that the person has a high likelihood of willful flight to escape to avoid prosecution. Guys, basically, when they're calling this the Purge laws, it's because anyone who hasn't seen the films Purge, and what was it? There's so many, and I think it finished with Forever Purge, which means unlimited purge. So basically, the leaders of the nation came together. I'm not sure what year it was again. They decided that there needs to be some bloodletting because there's just all this balled up, pent up frustration in the people. And they said it would be a good thing because then the people wouldn't turn against the governments themselves. So if you let the people turn against each other for a period of time, they would, get some bloodletting, and then they would go about their business again for the next year. So they allowed, I think it was a 12-hour period, one day each year, 12-hour period for certain sections of the community. And of course, it was with the poor people, you know, they literally had a period where they could do almost anything, almost any crime. They could kill, shoot, maim, rob, steal from anyone just for that period, and they would not be punished, by law for their crimes. And then it extended a little bit more, and it got a little bit more and more technical and stuff, etc. Until at some point they became, well, in certain places you can do as you please. You can maim, kill, stab, rape, rob, whatever to your heart's content. And that was their way to cull the population. That was their way to get the bloodletting to get, and that was also their way for people to, you know, say it's a good thing, the politics are great, then we're not going to be concerned with the politicians, etc. We can just cause and find out, what am I talking about? We can actually just use the purge to sort out old problems, old feuds, old wars, you know, settle the score. Really? Guys, sorry about that. My mind was just dreaming about stuff. Really? But I am shocked because this is probably the first time we'll see in legal aspects, especially, say, for instance, I'm from the UK, but this is the USA, where literally, because I think that guy was Mayor Patak, I think his name was. Sorry, I didn't say his name before, but literally, what they're trying to say is all the states are almost bankrupt anyway, blah blah blah, and this will free up a lot more money because it costs a lot of money to put these people through the judicial, penal system, etc., etc. So under this new law, they're reclassifying a lot of these crimes. So a lot of these crimes, they're not going to incarcerate the perpetrators, and literally it seems that the weighting has gone well in favor of the perpetrators than the victims, because if you're allowing people to trespass on someone's property, without getting the law enforcement to remove them, you're allowing people to get away with vehicular homicide, drug induced homicides, drug offences, hate crimes, burglaries, batteries, assaults, all sorts like that. That is just incredible. It just gives them the green light to go ahead to do whatever they want to do. And guys, this is not a good thing from my perspective. Let me know down here in the comments section what you think about it. Are we overreacting? Have I got the wrong end of the stick here? Because literally, to me, it's giving people the green light. Go and do what you want to do. Go beat people up. Go rob people. Go, commit crimes. Do vehicular homicide. You know, the mind boggles. It'll be interesting to see what happens, because I think the people of Illinois maybe have a chance to contest this, but it looks like this is now written in the statutory books and it's going to happen. So it looks like January the 1st, 2023, the gates are going to open, and it's going to be like Gotham City before the Batman came along to sort things out. I mean, this is just my perspective, guys. I might be totally wrong, and I may have read the room totally wrong. Let me know down here in the comment section, guys. But there are so many things to talk about in this, and it'd be interesting to see your perspective, your point of view, guys. But I think that they've made a massive own goal here. I mean, you can't have, as people say, a civilized society if you are releasing convicted criminals back into society without fear of doing what they're doing. And, there's no fear of any comeback or any get back. So, literally, this could really disintegrate really, really quickly. So, I think all eyes come January the 1st will be centered on, you know, Illinois, the state of Illinois, to see what is going to happen. I mean, already when I was growing up, Chicago was the gun capital. I was a little kid and I was hearing that there were so many people being shot, murdered almost every day in Chicago. in Illinois. So what this means for the state, I don't know. Guys, let me know down here in the comment section. I'm from the UK, so maybe I shouldn't be talking, but if they start to put it into places like Illinois, this could just be the thin end of the wedge. So it looks like UK copies a lot of stuff that happens in America. So they'll be watching what's going on in the USA really closely, because what happens in the USA, a couple of years later, it comes over here to the UK. So guys, we need to be vigilant, and we need to just keep a monitor, keep a watching brief on what's going on, guys. That's all I'm going to say on this, guys. So it looks like the Forever Purge could be, could, make itself from the film, make itself all the way from celluloid, guys, into the real life environment. Guys, are you scared? Should be. Guys, here at Urban Bars, if you like what you're hearing, like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel here at Urban Bars, like, share, hit the notification bell. I really like these little things that come up from time to time, so I like to let you guys know what's going on as well. We love the music, etc. We love to have the laughs and everything, but sometimes the serious stuff really transcends everything. And if this is true, and if this is the prelude to new purge laws, then guys, we need to know, and we need to be prepared. We need to have a strategy for how we're going to cope if it comes to a place near you. So, guys, that was Illinois passes the purge law January the 1st, and it's releasing a bunch of King Vons from Cook County Jail. So, guys, be prepared. Be very prepared, because a purge is coming near you real soon.